Just missing this one significant statement victory against a big club, Jamie.
Yeah, that's what they need. And listen, David Moyes spoke about European football, but a statement victory to make those supporters, you know, you can imagine the atmosphere there tonight if Everton were to beat Manchester United. And then there's a feel-good factor, not just with the supporters, but also with the players and the staff.
Michael Carrick is forced into only his second change since taking the reins as caretaker manager of Manchester United. Senna Lummons was firmly established as #1 goalkeeper before Carrick's arrival, but the appearances of Lisandro Martinez have been key. He has a slight calf problem though, so Lenny Yoro deputises. Casemiro is 34 today, and as his United career winds down, Kobbie Mainoo's has been reinvigorated. In the continued absence of Patrick Dorgu, Brian Mbeumo has recently been shifted into a role on the left, with Mateus Cunha making his mark, especially with his 2 goals in the last 4 matches. So Benjamin Šeško might be required to do yet another turn from the bench. Jack Morehouse, just back from a loan at Leyton Orient, is included in the squad, but there's still no Mason Mount. Thanks, Dave. And after a 13-day break to stew over their defeat by Bournemouth, David Moyes makes 3 changes, though Jordan Pickford is immovable as Everton goalkeeper. Jake O'Brien's suspension sees a switch for James Garner, and with Jarrad Branthwaite on the opposite side, a return for Michael Keane in the centre. Only his 4th start alongside Idris Gueye since the slap that brought Gueye's red card at Old Trafford. Tim Irabunam fills Garner's midfield vacancy. And after keeping him here rather than sending him back to Preston on loan, Harrison Armstrong makes the first 11. Tierno Barry retains his place despite being guilty of a big miss last time out. Seamus Coleman, who hasn't played since his 10 minutes against United in November, is on the bench, where there's a change of backup goalkeeper in Tom King.
Dalla. Casemiro. Knocked out there by Idrissa Gana Gueye. Roberto Martinez watching. Former Everton manager and current head coach of Portugal national team. Dalla. Eyes it across, forced a save from Pickford.
Diagonal again for the first time already. Manchester United looking to profit from a really good diagonal pass. It's a good first touch from Dalot. One thought in his mind, just to get on the outside of Branthwaite. It's more of a cross than a shot, but Pickford has to deal with it nonetheless.
Burma. Bunam putting the pressure, it does go Everton's way.
Everton trying their best just to make sure they can pressurise Manchester United in the faces, try and win the ball back, try and win possession anytime Manchester United just take a touch too long on the ball.
Branthwaite over to Keane. Dalot was able to intercept because the run was there for Brathwaite.
I think offside's been given. I can only imagine it was against Harrison Armstrong. He didn't actually go for the ball. I think he did try and block Dalot as he was trying to go for it himself.
Hammond's being put under pressure. In control, and Everton trying to make the most of it.
Well, those are the moments Everton are trying to create. I don't think we've seen anything from them in possession of the ball as of yet. They're trying to set themselves up kind of like they do away from home. They've had a lot of success away from home this season, and it's trying to create moments in which they're organised, they can get behind the ball, they can put the opposition under pressure, make the pitch as small as possible at certain times, win the ball back and then create something from there.
Europe to Dalot. Tarkowski he stayed down. Not sure if it was the landing that caused him the most trouble.
Yeah, I think it was the landing. I think he had his eyes on the ball. Ahmad just got underneath him. I don't think Ahmad does an awful lot wrong, if I'm being completely honest. When you're in the air, though, just takes a slight touch and you completely lose your balance, and you can see not only does he fall, he twists as well. It will be an uncomfortable one. And again, one or two sharp passes and then a forward ball from Manchester United, and they do have that Everton backline stretched.
Well, the first meeting between Manchester United and Everton was back at the end of November. You can see Jake O'Brien, who's suspended for this game after receiving a red card. They'll have to make do without him. Tarkowski back on his feet. But yeah, the reverse fixture of this game, 1-0 to Everton, back at Old Trafford. It was Kieran Dewsbury-Hall who scored the goal, but it was quite an entertaining game. 13 minutes in, Idrissa Gana Gueye was sent off after an altercation with Michael Keane. They had to do it, basically had to play the majority of the game with 10 players, and they managed to get a victory.
That's maybe why Everton are trying to make sure the 13th minute, the ball's not even on the pitch this evening. Keep those two